You can follow every content strategy in the world, but if you're not telling your story, your brand will still feel invisible. Hey y'all, it's your podcast bestie Jama again, and today we're talking about something I know a lot of women struggle with. We try to find the perfect strategy, we plan, we study, we tweak, but the real magic, it's in your story. Let's talk about why that's what actually builds your brand. Here's what I see happen all the time. Someone decides to take their brand strategy seriously, so they start doing all the right things. They batch content, they plan out a color palette, they post consistently, but no one's engaging. No one's connecting. Why? Because they're showing up with the structure, but not with themselves. Here's the hard truth. Strategy without story won't create trust, and trust is what builds brands. Your story makes you relatable. Your story gives context to your confidence. And your story is what helps someone say, she gets it. She gets me. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be real. Think about it. How often have you connected with someone online because of their story, not their product? When someone shares a truth you've been scared to say out loud, it draws you in. And your audience is looking for that too. Trust me, I've done what you've done. Early in my building, I followed all the advice. The planning, the batching, the perfect content templates. I had my strategy locked down. But what I didn't have was myself in my work. And people could feel that. Once I started sharing the real things, what got me into photography in the first place, my grandmother, how I stopped hiding from the camera, even though I still do sometimes, what it felt like to rebuild after burnout, everything changed. That's when people started reaching out and saying, I feel seen. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Your post or podcast made me cry. It wasn't my perfect strategy. It was my honesty. And you don't need to have a dramatic transformation or a painful backstory like I do. Some of the most powerful brand stories are simple. So try these. A moment that made you rethink your career, a lesson you had to learn the hard way, a behind-the-scenes detail your audience never sees, a fear you've overcome or are still trying to navigate, like me speaking and showing up, and a belief that drives everything you do. What matters is that it's true to you, because truth builds trust, and trust builds your brand faster than any trending strategy ever will. Here's how to start weaving your story in, even if it feels a bit awkward. Start small. Use a personal caption instead of a generic one. Share why a photo matters, not just what it is. Use emotion, not just information. Instead of, I had a client photo shoot this weekend, say something like, this client reminded me exactly why I fell in love with photography in the first place. And also, connect it back with your audience. Always leave them with a takeaway, even if it's simple. If you're in that same place, you're not alone. And if storytelling still feels scary or unclear, I've created a few tools to help you. You can download my 30 days of personal brand prompts, or grab my Strike a Pose guide or natural light cheat sheet, or you can dive in deeper into my Show Up Confidently on Camera mini course that I did, where we don't just talk about how to look confident, we talk about how to feel it. And that's all on my website at jamapantel.com. So finally, you don't need a fancier content plan. You don't need a new strategy. You just need to start showing up with you in the picture, literally and figuratively, because no one else has your story. No one else can connect the way you can. In a world full of noise and recycled templates, your story is what makes you unforgettable. So tell it often, and trust that it's enough. Thanks for tuning in today, and as always, keep showing up and living the whole picture. Until next time, bye y'all.